That's indispensable.
But what are some of the characteristics that one should look for in looking for a therapist?
If you look at what are the top 10 important factors to find in a therapist, just repeat rapport 10 times. It's trust. It's a back and forth. It's like, yeah, even though I'm doing something difficult, I'm doing it with someone who's really helping me, someone who's in it with me, right? Someone who's really paying attention, wants me to be better. That's indispensable. I think that good therapists are not pigeonholed by a certain modality. There's lots of different, ways to do therapy, but when you really talk to those people, really good, experienced therapists, it's all coming through the vehicle of the rapport, but they're practically shifting to what the person needs. If you have that, you've got a winning combination.
So people should perhaps try a few therapists and maybe have a session or 2 or 3 to see if the rapport feels like it's taking root.
Yeah, and I think that's why word of mouth is important, right? If someone you trust tells you, hey, this is a good person, that says a lot, right? It already makes the pretest probability is quite high. Yes, I think a lot of times it would be the therapist to say, hey, like more work, more intensive work or can make a difference. But I think the person also needs to take ownership, right, of their own therapy and say, if I don't feel helped enough, well, I have to think about that, right? And talk to the therapist about that because maybe that therapist isn't a match. People can get into a rhythm of therapy where it's really not helping them, right? But they either feel sort of nihilistic about it, like, oh, I'm no better and I'm going to therapy. Do we really need to look at ourselves? And this is where the insurance systems often are very difficult because it's hard sometimes for a person to say, oh, I need more therapy because that may not be possible. So there are sort of negative factors in the world around us, but ultimately I think the answer to the question comes down to observing ourselves and taking ownership of like what's going on in us and how we're feeling and feeling that commitment to self or to self-care to say, I need to go change this.
Now I'd like to talk a little bit about chemistry.